Right, okay, we're going to fit these bifold doors today. I've done a bifold door video before, but what I'm going to try and do now, I'm going to try and do it with a little less pace really, and show you the options of using like the laser or using a spirit level if you haven't got a laser. I'm going to show you all the fixings we use. I'm going to try and give you a little bit more detail. So if you watch us on a regular basis, you'll know that we fit doors that are made by Express Bifolds. They are the leading supplier of aluminium bifold doors in the country. We always use them. One reason, and one reason only, because the doors are exceptionally good quality. Two reasons, and the company is a good company to work with as well. So, with that in mind, Express have come up with this offer, which is a fantastic offer. What they're going to give you is bifolds, turned around in 5 working days, so they carry these as stock items now, and then 1950 high, which of course works for your permitted development height as well. So if you jump on their website, expressbifoldsdirect.co.uk, and you use this code, you're going to get 5% off, and here's the brilliant part as well, 5 working days, so there's no waiting around. They're stock items, and like I said before, they're extremely good quality. So what we're going to do, we're going to fit this this set of bifolds. Now, I, stupidly, have told the customer that that will be enough room for his bifold doors to open. Me and Davey have just found out that that isn't enough room for his bifold doors to open. But we're going to fit the doors anyway, and we're going to address this situation where the door actually catches on this sleeper retaining wall here as well. But that's going to be a job for the future, isn't it, Davey, I guess, or something that we might have to resolve because it's my fault. Right, so your sill needs to be level. There's the sill in the packet there, David. Yep, we're going to fit the sill shortly. We want the sill to be level. If you built a garden room and you follow the build pack, then you'll have used the rod system, and your sill should be level, or certainly level enough. So with this spirit level here, if David comes and has a look, you can see there it's fractionally out, just a little bit like that. There, David, can you see that now? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Right, so it's fractionally out. So why is it fractionally out? Right, when you build your base and you wind up your threaded bars and you put your shoes on and stuff like that, you will be millimetre perfect. But what happens then is you put your timbers on. Now, your timbers, they can have slight deviations in, and there won't be a true 100mm, 75mm consistently all along. Also, you put joist hangers on as well. By putting the joist hangers on and this deviation, sometimes when you put your chipboard flooring down, you might get a slight little ripple up and down. This is quite flat, but as we've just noticed now, it's slightly out of level. So what we need to do, we need our sill to sit completely level. Right. What we're going to do, we're going to mark 150mm in there, and we're going to mark 150mm in at this side as well. That will be your first fixing point. Okay? So when we fit our sill, that will be the first fixing point, and then we'll go across, and then that will be the last fixing point. So I'm also going to look for where the shoes are. So there is a shoe and a rod there, so we don't want to put a fixing point there. There is also, is there one there, Debbie? Can't see it because there is one there by the looks of it, which has fallen on our thing, but I can see that it's in the centre there, so that will be where the rod is. So that fixing point is still good there. And looking at that, there should be another one approximately here. There is. So there's a shoe as well, and there's one right on the end there. The rod will be there, so that fixing point is good as well. So we're not going to fix tight there, which is fine. We're not going to fix there. We're not going to fix there, because what we don't want to send our screw down and our screw go into the rod, because obviously that won't work. So we'll have a fix in there. I'm going to put a fix in there. I'm going to put a fix in there. And I'm going to put a fix in there and one there as well. Right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 fixing points. Right, looking at this level now. Like I say, we'll talk about the laser in a minute, but we'll look at the level. So what the level's showing, there, you can see there. So it's a little bit low there. So this is obviously the highest point there, because obviously that level is running that way, and then that's low there as well, because we're having to lift that level up to meet that. So somewhere there is the highest point. So over there we'll need to pack it up just to take that rock out of there, because if you don't get your sill right, then this ain't going to be right. You see there, that one's lifting up like that. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to use a laser. Now this laser here, it's come from eBay. There's loads of them on the market. This is a Club Iona one. You see that, Davey, all right? Yeah. Club Iona. They all look the same, so I guess they've been made in Japan or China or wherever, and they've been rebranded for different companies, but they're all practically the same as this one. It's a pretty good piece of kit, to be fair. It was about £175 on eBay, but like I say, you can use the level, but I just want to use the laser because I've got it and I want it to be millimetre perfect. Right, packers, window packers. These are just from Tool Station. They're just little plastic shims, little plastic packers, whatever you want to call them. And that's what we're going to use to pack up our doors. So we can get our sill completely level. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pack it up a little bit higher because we're trying to avoid that sleeper, which we're not going to, but I'm just trying to reduce the fact that we're going to hit it. Right, so I'm going to start there. That will be my first packer. Right, Debbie, you might want to get down and get close to this now. That side, mate, there. Right, you can see that on the laser there, look. See if I put my glasses on. Right, you can see that on the laser there. I'm pushing the packer down to the floor as well. So I've got approximately, it's actually falling in the middle, so it's like, we're going to say 132 millimetres. Right, so that one there, you see that, David, look. Let me just check that, 132, yeah. Right, so that one there is 138. So by my calculations, we need to come up approximately 6 mil. So, as I said before, you want the least amount of packers because you don't want a big stack of packers, so you get your biggest packer and go from there. Right, that's 6 mil. Right, you see that, David? Look there, look. Right, so I'm going to take the green out. There, so that now, them two packers are completely level. So I'll go over to this one now, this fixing point here. And again, I've got the same scenario as well. So I'm going to stick another red packer there, see what that comes. I'm pushing the packer down to the floor so that I get a true measurement there. And that's the same now, so we're good at that, yeah? Sorry, David, you're just right in front, that's it there, yeah? Right, so them three are now correct. I'm now just going to move on to this side here as well. This is my next packing point there. Again, we want to come up, not quite as much this time. We'll try that one. Yep, we're good on that, yeah? So we'll try this one as well there. Fractionally low, which that was where the rock was, if you remember, there was a rock in the level. So I'll get another red out of there. Get rid of that blue one. Yeah, could do with another mil on that, I think. There. Okay? Yeah, you see that, yeah? Right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 fixing points there. And that means that when our sill sits on there, it will be completely level. Right, I'm not going to move them for the moment. What I am going to do, though, because I've got a habit of kicking them around, I'm going to write red and green there, blue there, blue there, red there, and red there. Just in case I kick them off, I'll know exactly what to put where without having to re-level it. Right, the sill. Again, the sill is aluminium. Right, when you open these, you want to watch that you don't use your knife and mark the sill because they won't be refunding you, I can assure you that. Right, so that there is the thermal break. My door is going to sit in that position there, so I can quite happily cut through that. There we go. That there is the magnet for the door. So I want to save that and put that there. Yeah, and then we've got this end. And what you should find in this end now not looking good at the moment, is it, Davey? Right, Davey, what we're missing?
End caps.
End caps. Do you know where they might be? Oh, they're with the Sill. They are. Right, so when we get these, normally they're strapped in with the Sill, but they weren't on this occasion, but they're there, so we're happy with that. There are your two end caps. Now they're important. I'm going to show you, we'll address that situation shortly. So there are your two end caps, we need them. There's your Sill. If I were you, I'd keep the Sill off the floor or somewhere clean off the floor, because what will happen is it'll pick grit up, and then sometimes when you push the Sill, the gasket, whatever you want to call it, when you fit in your glass, the little bits of crap on it can scratch your glass. So keep that off the floor and keep that elsewhere. Right, there's my Sill. What I'm going to do now is find my tape measure. Right, I know my doors are 3 metres because, as I said before, these are a stock item now. 3 metres is a stock size, so they are 3 metres. And my Sill, they'll made the Sill bigger. And the reason why they'll made it bigger is because some people like to, there you go, it's 3,200. Some people like to fit their Sill a little bit differently, and I'll just show you what I mean by that. So sometimes they like fit their Sills like that. And then when the doors sit on there like that, then they've got like a lug either side of it. But we're going to cut ours flush because that's the way we do it, and that's what's going to happen. You're going to walk back over that saw, David, be careful. Right, your Sill, there's 2 ways of cutting it. There's actually 3. You can cut it with a hacksaw, you can cut it with an angle grinder, or you can use a mitre saw, which we prefer to use. The blade will cut through the aluminium, no problem. Okay. Right. My Sill's good there. I'm just going to put it on here. We know 3 metres is what we want. I'm going to mark that up there. Right, what I'm going to do, Davey, you just walk down there and just take weight of that Sill for me, mate, while you're still filming. Davey's just going to walk Sill for me there. Right, lift it up, mate. Bit more, there you go. There you go, just pop it down there a bit. That's as easy as that. Right, I'll show you the Sill now as well. So there's the Sill section. You see that, David? There's the thermal brake. Okay, so what you want to do now, I'm going to talk about damming the Sill. I'll show you the holes in it, but what happens basically, your frame sits on there like that. Any water that goes in there or comes through the frame will go in there. There will be a pre-drilled hole in there. Any water will then drip down into there and drip out of there, which again is pre-drilled, and I'll show you that as well. Okay, so that's your Sill. Let me show you where I'm going to fit the Sill. Right, let's even put that tape back on there, and then you'll get a better idea of what's going on. Right, the section of the door is 70mm. Okay, so the door will sit there. Okay, so the door butts up to that, yeah? Get a packer and show you. Imagine that's your door. Yeah, it sits up to that lip there, which we also put silicone in as well, yeah? And that's where the door frame will finish. Now, the way we fit ours is, that's where ours are going to sit like that, okay? So the edge of the frame will be in line with the OSB, which is what we want, and the back of the frame will be there. We'll have fixing points through the thermal brake there, and I'll explain that as we go along. That was a nice fix there into that timber, that'll be solid. So we're going to get that Sill down, and that's where we're going to fix it. So with that in mind, I'm going to put that there like that. Right, so we know 70mm, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to... Have you got a pencil? Because I need a little bit more accurate than the Sharpie. Where have you got them from, David?
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Right, okay, I'll give that a little sharpen. Right, so we know our Sill 70mm. That lip there is 2mm. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure 72mm back. Okay. Let me see if I can get that on there, because that'll be a lot more accurate, won't it? Put that on there, like that. 72mm is there. We've just took the covering off this floor, and it's a bit hard to write on, but I don't know if you can see that, David, can you? That'll be the back of the sill, and again on this side, I'm going to hook it on the OSB, and I mark 72mm there. And that there will be the back of that sill. Again, that's just the glue off of that. You see that, look, the easy peel there. If I can, maybe not so easy peel. There you go. It's kind of sticky a little bit and it's just a bit hard to write on. But that there is where the back of the sill's going. So we know that, we're good with that sill. Let's just get this sill in here off that floor. Okay, right, David, you want to come in here and I'll show you these holes and what they're doing. Let's move the laser. Right, can you see that hole there, David? Yeah. Yep. So as I said before, any water that goes in there or comes through the door system will go down that hole. It will then go into the sill and it will come out of the weep holes, which have been pre-drilled as well. See them, yeah? Yep. And they're all down the frame there. Look, can you see them in several points down the frame? Okay? So, what we need to do now is, I'm going to pull that off, because it's got to come off before we fit his doors anyway. I'll get rid of that over there. Right, we're going to dam the sill now. What we don't want is any water coming back into the building. So what we need to do is dam it. Oh, David, did you get any wipes? Oh, I bought some on this morning, didn't I? Right. It's just a general purpose silicone. And bizarrely, I picked up clear and white, but it doesn't actually matter because we're going to clear it all off. Right. Wonder wipes. Where's the best place for you, David? Maybe there, mate. Put that on that cardboard down there. Like I say, it's just general purpose silicone. Okay, we've got a nice big end on that. That doesn't want to open. Okay, right. We need them to clean up. We need our silicone to dam the sill. David, have I got a multi-tool with me? Whew. There's not many teeth on that one, David. Yep, we're all good. And the battery, no battery. Where's all batteries, Davey?
There should be at least 5, 6.
I ain't got any. There's one. There's one got all my batteries. Oh, there's a few more in there as well. Right. And the reason why I've got the multi-tool out is because, and I'm not sure of this, for some reason, these end caps, maybe it's for a different type, but they come and they've got a little bit of plastic on them. Now, I can't get that bit of plastic to sit in there. Can you see it, Davey? Yeah. It doesn't actually sit in there, but that's going to go on there like that. Let's get rid of that tape there, because we don't want that sticking in. That'll go on there. It's got a little lip on it. Can you see the little lip, Davey, at all? See the little lip? Yeah. So if you've cut that with a grinder or a hacksaw and it's a little bit rough, that little lip will cover over that. So that's a little saviour there as well. Let's get a little bit of insulation and then we can keep that off the floor and you should be able to see it better. I like to work in a tidy environment. Right, there's the sill. Okay, we're going to dam the sill now. So what we don't want is water going in through them holes and coming out here, here or here. And I'll explain why it'll come out the thermal break. And coming back into the room, because that much there will be in the room. So any water leaking out there will come back into the room, which is not what we want. So, multi-tool, why did I get that out? Right, I'm going to cut that off there like that. Okay, that's off there like that. That will now sit on there lovely like that. Yeah. So again, I'm not quite sure why that's on there, but maybe somebody can address that in the comment section. Right, what we're going to do is get this filled with silicone. And I mean, when I say filled, you want it proper filled. Oh, I thought we got a really rubbish gun then, Davey. It is pretty crap to be fair. Let's crack the pump on it. Right, you can see how much silicone I put in there. Look, absolutely loads, yeah. Right, and I'm also going to fill the thermal break as well, and I'll explain that later on. Right, end cap. What's going to happen now? That's going to push onto the silicone like that. Yeah, it's now going to seal it. Yeah. See that gone on there, lovely, David? And it's spurted out, which is what we want. Now I'm going to get one of these wonderful wipes and clear it off. That there, I'm just going to wet my finger and flatten it down. Obviously, if you've not worked with silicone before, if you wet your finger, it don't stick to your finger, which is what you want, yeah. Right, okay. So that's cleaned up, nice that now. Yeah, it's dammed properly. Okay, we're good with that one, and we're going to do exactly the same on the other end. You stay there, Davey. Now I believe this is the end I cut, is it, Davey? Yeah. And the miter saw's done a lovely job cutting through that. Not actually that bad for the blade either, to be fair. I'll cut that off again. You could actually cut that there if you wanted to with a hacksaw if you haven't got a multi-tool. Okay. So that's cut. I'm just going to offer that up, make sure it goes on. It does, we're happy with that. And now I'm going to silicone it again. Again, loads of silicone. We don't want any water coming back into this room. And if you fail to do this, then you've got a fair old chance that you're going to get water in your room. Okay. If you're building one of these garden rooms, then you'll know materials have actually gone through the roof. Like £5 odd for a tube of silicone now, when it used to be a couple of pound. Right, that doesn't want to go back, and I'll tell you why I don't want to go back, just because there's some little burrs on it, yeah, from when I cut it. So what I'm going to do there is get something relatively soft and damage free and just give it a tap. There, that's gone on now, happy with that. Wet my finger again, yeah, seal that hole there. Okay. Right, so that's that. I haven't filled that part there because that part there, it's not going to get no watering because there's no holes in it. I'm not going to fix through there either. So that part there never ever is going to get any water. So it doesn't actually need sealing that part. So there's my sill. Yep. 3 meters long or slightly more now I put them end caps on, but that's by the by, it doesn't actually matter. Right, next thing is now I want this sill to sit down on here. David, you want to jump back out? Right, here's the thing now. This is important as well. Right, we'll cut that off there. That should be right. Okay, right. So, we know where a sill's sitting, yeah? It's sitting there. So what I want now is, I'm going to blather a load of silicone on there. I'm going to come across there like that. I'm going to move them packers. I'm going to put the first packer down. I'm going to put a little bit of silicone on there. Put the next packer down. Compress it into the silicone. And then go over the top again. And I'm going to do that all the way along. If you have built your build and you've got rain on here, you need to dry this, otherwise the silicone won't stick to it. You also need to clean it as well. What we normally do, we normally give it a wipe with some Wonder Wipes and then dry it off, don't we, Davey? But on this occasion, what we did, we left the easy peel down. So we just peeled it off and we've got a nice clean substrate there to work off. Right, that silicone has almost run out. Let's get rid of that. There you go, that's the end of that one. Where can I throw that where it's going to go over everything? Put it over there. Right, like I said, I picked up white for some reason. Doesn't matter. All the same stuff. I suppose it's easier for you to see as well. So again, lift the packer up, put the packer back down, silicone over the top of the packer, and then you've got a continuous bed of silicone. You need quite a lot there because we're obviously raising it up 5mm there, because the reason why we're raising it up is we're trying to avoid that sleeper, which is not happening for us. Right, so we've got a full bed of silicone there. So when I put that sill down now on there, what will happen is that will compress that silicone and that will stop any moisture coming back into the room. Right, Davey, let's get some screws and get ready, yeah? I've got my fixing points here. I'll just put a couple of screws there ready, just so, obviously Davey's filming, so he's not helping me as such, so just so you can see what's going on. I've got my impact driver ready. They're 100mm screws, they're 100mm torque screws, that's what we tend to use, simply because you can take them in and out, the head doesn't go on them. Right, there's my sill. I've already got my marks where I want the sill to go. Right, our opening is bigger than 3 metres, and I'll explain that in a second. Right, so what's happening now, I push that sill tight down to there, but I don't want the sill, that's not the final place for the sill, so I'm just going to push it. Right, see how much gap I've got there, David, look, yeah? Yeah, so I'm going to even the gap, which I have done there. I can see, I've got my hand on the sill because it'll rock out. We use a 190 sill, and I'll explain that as well. So there's my fixing point, yeah? Right, so what I'm going to do now is drive that screw down through that thermal brake. That's now compressed that. Can you see that thermal brake? It squeezed it down. Yeah, that's what I want. I'm going to go to this side now. And start my screw off. Find my line where it should be, which is there. There you go. So I've not broke the thermal brake there. The thermal brake, I've not broke it. Just compress it. Just enough to squeeze that sill down onto the top there. Right, that's the sill down. Right, if Davey wants to jump in here, look, you can see, look, what's happened here. Let's get a bit of card. Can you see the silicones? The silicones out there, Davey, look, yeah. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to run that packer down there. Right, I can get rid of that excess silicone. You see the white tape on the sill? Yeah. I've left that on for a reason. And I'll show you now in a minute. Get rid of all that excess silicone. Okay, right, get rid of that as well, because what will happen is I'll stand on that and it'll go all over customer's patio. We'll put that there, Davey. Right, there's your silicone. It's come out, we've compressed it down. Right, so what I'll do now, I'll just come over here, Davey. Right, so I'm going to continue that there like that. Right, the reason why I've done that is any water that comes in and sits on that sill, yeah, we don't want it to go that way into the room, yeah? We want it to go down that hole. Can you see that hole, Davey? Yep. Yeah, yes, we want it to go down that hole, okay? So any water there now will hit that silicone barrier, and go down there. So that's, you know, that's your damming of your sill. Obviously dam water, don't you? That's exactly what you try to do, to dam it and to send it in a different direction. Again, wet your finger, stop silicone sticking to it, and then wipe it all over there. Right, so that's it, that's my sill down. Right, I'm just going to blow that off. Right, my thermal brake. Now, and there's a lot of people disputed this, and then there's other people said they've been fitting windows for X amount of years. That's exactly the way they do it. Some people say don't screw your thermal brake, don't screw through your thermal brake rather, because you'll weaken it. Well, I'm telling you now, yeah, there is no way made that is going to break on that thermal brake whatsoever. So I've fixed through the thermal brake. Now we've got a problem there, because that screw then has created a hole. Although it's a tight hole, yeah, we don't want any water going down there either. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to silicone over the top of that there, like that. Same way, all the way down. Yeah, like that. And then any rainwater that does sit in there is not going to penetrate through that screw hole. Although there is a flaw in the plan, because when we fix our frame down to the sill, we're again going to screw through it, but it's the best you can do. I've never had a problem, never had no water coming in, and like I said, a lot of window fitters say they're doing the same thing. Right, so there you go. Excuse the spit there. That's the sill down. Right, we packed it up. We packed it up because you're on your shoes and maybe you've got a little bit of deviation, and I'm talking 1 mil, 2 mil. Okay, so we'll get the level now. We'll drop it on that sill, and Davey will zoom in there and tell me if that level's level.
Yep.
Are we level, Davey?
Looks good.
Yeah, looks good. So that is 100%, as far as I'm concerned, level, and that's exactly what we wanted. Right, the reason why we want it level is, let me find somewhere to draw. Davey, can you see the ceiling if I draw on the ceiling? Yeah. Right, if you've got your sill up like that, Davey, yeah? That's it, yeah. So if your sill is like that, can you see it, yeah? You're then going to put a rectangle on that. Now this rectangle is the frame, yeah? So if that sill is level, that means that they will be level. But let's exaggerate it now. Let's say your sill's like that, and you put your rectangle on there, and you're trying to get into your opening. Obviously it's massively exaggerated, but that's what's going to happen. So you get your sill level, and your frame then will sit on that sill, and it will be plumbed that way. Okay, does that make sense a little bit, yeah? Right, David, just stand back there. Right, we're gonna, these doors are heavy. So what we're gonna do, John and Jen have nipped out some plasterboards. I'm going to come back shortly. But I'm going to show you. Now, you can buy windbags if you want. Yeah? Right, come here, Davey. Right, the sill is going to sit on there. No, it's not. The frame is going to sit on there, all right? What I'm going to do now is put all my bloody level in that. Anyway, there we go. Right, so that's where the frame is going to sit. Can you see right down there, Davey? Look, have a look right down at the bottom. Yeah? Just keep your camera there. Right, the sill will sit... the frame, sorry, will sit up to that, it'll butt up to that. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this level there like that. I'm going to get this level, perfectly level. Have I still got your pencil, Davey?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. There. That now is level. Davey, it's just next to my drill. Could you pass us it, please? There. That is level. So I'm going to put a line there, yeah? Right, and the reason why I put a line there is because we're going to put some blocks of wood on the frame, on the opening, the structural opening. So what will happen then is, when we offer our frame up, it will sit against the blocks of wood, and that will do away with the need for the windbags, and you'll see why we do it that way as well, because it's an absolute no-brainer. Your doors are secure. You can then fit the doors on your own, no problem. Right, so I've got myself 4 offcuts of wood there. I'll explain why there's 4 in a minute. Get myself a screw. Right, and I put that there. Let's get a nice clean bit so you can see there. No burrs on it. Right, it's on that line, yeah? Okay? Right, we'll get a screw in there. Okay? Yeah, we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. You've seen me do it with the level. Now I'm going to do it with the laser in case you've got a laser. Right, let me get a white packer just and you'll be able to see it a lot easier that way. Right. There's my laser, okay? Right, can you see that line there, Davey? Yeah, so we know that the frame is going to sit just there. Where? There. Okay? Just there, yeah? The frame will sit just there. Just put my hands in that silicone. Right, so if you look up that laser, David, can you see it? Oh. Look right up it. Can we see it there? Is that there? It is, isn't it? Yeah, I can see it. Not a bad old laser, but if you've used these before, you know that in the daytime they're all right, but you know you need the green beam one so you can see it. Right. We'll now put that against some pencil marks like that. Okay, right. I'm going to talk to you now about structural openings and window sizes. Right, when you build a garden room, the base is the base isn't going to move. The height, if you've used a steel beam, like that there, is also not going to change. So the structural opening there, I believe, is 1965, I think we make it now. It's 1964, yeah? So that's never going to open, it's never going to deviate, but the walls could deviate a little bit just as you're building it, do you know what I mean? So what we do is we build our structural opening 10 to 15 mil taller and we build it 15 mil wider. So that's the reason why I've set that sill in the middle like that. So when I put my frame in, let's say one wall's out like that, I can get my frame still plumb if the wall's out a little bit, if that makes sense, yeah? So that's it, you want 15 to 20 mil. We used to do 20, and then we found, because we would put these packers on, sometimes the door would just be catching on it and we didn't want it to fall in, so we reduced it to 15. The tolerances then are good enough at that. Excuse me. Right, so that's waiting to go in now. And the reason why I put them on, so what I'll do now, me and Davey will lift this door out. We'll then put the door in. And when we lift the door in, it's heavy, yeah? We don't want to scratch it. So what we'll do then, we'll put some packers, and we're only going to use 1 mil packers. Like I said, the door is heavy. We don't want to scratch the sill. We don't want to scratch the door. So we'll put a series of packers along there. Yeah? Like that. And the reason why they are there simply to stop the bottom of the door frame scratching the sill. Yeah? And when we've got it in, we'll just lift it up a little bit and we'll just pull the packers out, and then the frame will drop down onto the sill without damaging and scratching it. So, as I was saying anyway, still it's heavy, the frame. We're going to lift it out, we're going to offer it up. And when we offer it up like that, we don't want it to fall in the room. So what will happen now, the frame will sit against these blocks that I've already put on there. And because I've used a level or a laser, we know that when it's sat tight to the back of them and it's sat to there, it's actually plumb. So what I'll do then is when the door's in, I'll stick another bit of slate like there, screw it through there, and that will then trap the door frame in between these two slate battens. Where am I going with this? In between these two slate battens, which will then allow me to open the door and fix the frame to the sill, which is what we want to do. We can do it one-handed then, which I'm going to anyway because Davey's obviously filming. Right. I'm out of breath, Davey. Right. What we're going to do, we're going to get this frame outside and then me and Davey are going to lift it in. But before it goes in, what you must do then, you must get a line of silicone and run the silicone along there like that. So when the frame sits there, it compresses the silicone and seals that joint there between the frame and the sill, which will stop any water or ingress coming in. It's always all about stopping the water coming in, yeah? Okay, right, so that's that. I've just noticed a couple of nails that are sticking out there on that frame that I just want to send in on this structural opening rather, just in case they're in the way. That's all good there. That's all good there. Who boarded this, David? Do we know?
Boarded it?
Yeah, that side, yeah, the OSB is slightly proud there. I don't know. Right, like I said, before you get 5% off, you get these doors in 5 working days, and these doors are made for garden rooms. They're exactly the right size that you want. Use that code OGR OOMS5 Express Bifold Direct.co.uk. Right, I'm not being paid to do this. We just use them. Obviously, that benefits me. I can get my doors at a lot quicker turnaround as well. But it'll benefit you guys as well. She gets to fit these high quality doors. I'll show you how to fit them so you can fit myself if you want as well. Right, Davey, how do you want to do this? I think we should lay it on its side. Yeah, I'll go over there. You walk out of there, okay? Right, like I said, normally there'll be 4 of us here. 3, 4 of us here. Yeah, roll it, Davey. Right, out you go, mate. Watch the frame. There you go. Right, Davey, when I come back in now, yeah, I want you to come in. Stand it on the sleeper if you can, mate. Oh, the grass is fine. Yeah. Right, get it over there on the floor, Davey. Nice and gently. Right. Yeah, you got it? Okay, so let's take it back a little step. Imagine that you hadn't put these blocks on yet. Okay, and what we'll do, we'll now put the blocks on because I mean, you watched my stuff before. It's warts and all. Sometimes we get it wrong, sometimes we don't. We'll put these blocks on now. That will then stop the door from falling into the room, which is what we're trying to achieve. Okay? Right, Davey, this is the pressure shot now, isn't it? Where's the silicone? Can you see it? I've got it. So, as I've just said, you need to put a bead of silicone just in front of that little lip. Yeah. And then when that frame goes in there, that will compress it back and seal the back of that, which of course is what we're trying to achieve. Okay, plenty of silicone on there. We're good to go with that. All right, Davey, how do you feel? You feel happy, confident? Bifold doors do cost a lot of money, and this is always a little bit of a pressure job where we're just popping these up, getting them in without scratching the sill. Right, Davey? Okay, we good? Do you want to come to handle then so you've got a better grip? I don't mind. You there? Yeah. Right, Davey. Yeah. You lift it up. You don't put it down until we're both ready. You know where it wants to go, don't you, mate? Are you good? You don't put it on your foot, Davey? Yeah. If you hold the handles, hold them by the bars rather than the end. The bars? You know where it comes out, look where the... Yeah? Yeah. All right, you good? Yeah. You want to go? Yeah. On your packers, David. You down? Yeah. Right. Watch it, like push it back to the slate like, yeah, I've got it. Yeah. Right, so now I'm going to just push that back to that silicone bead. Have you got the doors, Davey? Yeah. Right, the doors can't fall in. Davey's now. He obviously can manage that a lot better now. I'm now just going to take the weight off the frame, slide the packers out. And what we're going to do then, just going to stop the video, just so Davey can show you a bit better what's actually going on. Right, where's my other bits of slate like Davey? There they are. And to get them ready, got myself 2 screws. Right, Davey, go stop the video and turn the camera around and bring it out here. Yeah, I'm going to keep my hand on the frame because I don't want it to fall out. Right, got my impact driver. Right, remember I've got a bit of slate like stopping the frame from falling out, yeah? Falling into the room. I'm now going to put that like that, just so it will stop it from falling into the garden as well. Okay, I'll now let go of that because I'm confident that that ain't going anywhere at this moment in time. And I'll put that one across there as well. Right, so the only danger you've got now is the bottom of the frame popping out. So, Davey, just jump in here. You can see my blocks there, look, so the frame can't fall into the room. We know it's plumb because we've used the level. It can't fall out of the room either now. The only danger is it could pop off there at the bottom like that. Now, if David gets right down here, you'll be able to see the little lip there, and now the silicone has come out of it, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull that frame back to that and make sure it's in the right position. I'm also going to check that the frame there, look, can you see it, David? Yeah. It's a little bit past there, isn't it? So what I'm going to do, just slide that across like that, so that it's on the sill properly, it's in the correct position. I know it can't fall out, I'm not worried about that. These doors generally come locked. The screws are fixed. Well, they were 5 minutes ago before I took them out anyway, whoever put them there, they are. The screws are normally fixed in there like that. So you take that little screw out, you get your key, you undo your door. Right, I know this door can't fall out at the top, but it could pop out at the bottom, which is not what we want, right? So I'm going to open that door, and I'm going to show you the disaster in a minute as well. I'm only going to open it that much, yeah? You start opening doors, you've got a lot of weight pulling out on the frame then. Right, there's my packer. I know, and this is what I always do, I always screw to the right hand side of the packer. Unless I did that left one over there. Right, either way, what we don't want is that screw to go through there and hit the screw below, because then we'll have a hole there that we've got a problem with, right? So I'm now going to put it to that side there. I'll explain that hole there in a minute. Again, I've gone through the thermal brake. Now, you can go through there, but the screws look really unsightly. I'm going to go through that thermal brake. It's gone through the other thermal brake. It's obviously created that hole, but you've got the threads of the screw. You're not going to have a problem, right? Any water's going to want to go through the biggest holes, yeah? So that hole there is a drain hole. That hole there is a drain hole. Let me see if you can see that there, look. Yeah, see that, look, Davey? Yeah. So any water that does come in, let's see if I can send it through the other way. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, any water that does come in or goes under there will drop into there, into that thermal brake little well, and it will go through the holes and out the sill, which is exactly what we were looking for, yeah? So I know now, that's fixed there. It can't fall out there. It ain't going nowhere. Again, I'm not going to open the doors fully. Yeah? Just going to open that a little bit like that. Pop it out like that. Yeah? I've now got an exposed thermal brake there, which is what I want. I'm now going to work my way along and screw down and screw this frame. I'm pulling back there so that the frame is pulled back to that lip. Again, you see out there, I've just compressed the thermal brake. I haven't fully drove it in because it will break it and it'll pop the screw through, which is not what you want. Again, get my screw started, pull my frame back. Again, just sink it a little bit. Pull the frame back. There we go. And I've got one more to put in here. I'm just going to open that a little bit more now. I know the frame can't fall out. I'm not worried about that at all. I'm sure I went to that side, David. Can you remember? No, I can't remember either. Let's go. Let's do what I always do. Go to the opposite side. There we're good. Right. So them screws are in there. What I'm going to do at a later date, but not now. I'm going to put some silicone over the top of them screws as well. Yeah. But I'm not going to do it now because I've got all the drilling and fixing to do, and the dust is going to come down. It's going to stay in the silicone and look unsightly. So that now the frame is sat on there. Because it's a rectangle, it's been manufactured right. It's sat like that. It's sat on the level sill, so it should be plumb that way. And we know it's plumb coming into the room as well. Yeah? So, I'll show you how we're going to plumb the legs up though. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to shut that. And I'm going to show you what we've done. Alright, because it is warts and all. David, do you want to come out here? Right, the customer. When he arrived on this job, all this here was a grass area. It was exactly the same as that there, with the sleeper retaining walls, and it went back there. So the customers dug all this out for us before we got here. Now the customer said to me, with my vast amount of knowledge, how far will the doors come out? I said, oh, you've got plenty of room there. So he's put his sleepers in, he's flagged it, the doors have arrived. Oh, Yeah. So, we've got a problem there, haven't we? The customer's not in at the moment, but when he comes back, I'll have to inform him what we've done. So, I'd imagine this is what he'll do. He'll bring that back to there and go that way, which would have probably got rid of that in the beginning anyway. So, but that's that. It's not the end of the world, I suppose. Just a bit annoying that I've stupidly said that was okay. So, what we're going to do now, we're going to open these doors. I can't open them fully. So, but what we'll do now, we'll blame John. Because now John's here. But if John can see there what he's actually done.
Why what I do? Oh, Jesus! Can't we just chop a little air like this door here? Nice little door over there.
Right, so that's that. But I can still fit the doors, even though I've made that mistake. It's literally just a few mil, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
But actually, it wasn't a mistake, was it?
No, but I told him it'd be wide enough. Right, so we're going to have a little break now because John's just arrived back, and then I'm going to continue with the video and show you how we're going to fit this frame and get it plumb and get it right, and actually then we'll be able to carry on and start glazing it. Right, the doors are in. We've fixed the frame to the bottom of the sill. Now we put them blocks on there, so I'll just show you that. Look there, David, can you see that level there, how it's level? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, do you see that? Yeah. So the frame is not going nowhere that way. Right. So what we need to do now, we're happy with that way. We just need to get it that way now. So I'm going to open these doors a little bit so that I can get into that fixing point there. But again, it's hitting that sleeper wall there, which is slightly annoying. But obviously that was my fault. John and Jen are just doing some electrics, if you can hear the noise. David with screws. Right. Okay, so I'm going to fix this with the level first, and then I'll fix the other leg with the laser. Do you want to stand there, David? Right, so we're going to put 4 fixings in there. We're going to put one there. We're going to go through the thermal brake into the 5x2. We're going to put another one on that hinge there, another one on that hinge, and then one down there as well. So we know the frame's right coming in and out of the room, but what we need to do now is get the frame right. We need to get the frame right like that. Okay, so we'll try this with the level rather than the laser, because I know not all of you will have a laser. So I'm holding that on there. I'm going to have to put my glasses on, Davey. Right. There, so I'm just looking at that there. I mean, that's perfect in my eyes, isn't it? Is that perfect for you, Davey? Yeah? Right, so the reason why that's perfect is because the sill is level. We put a rectangle on that sill, and as I said before, if the sill is level, the rectangle will be plumb. So it's plumb this way, and it's plumb that way as well. So we'll get the packers wherever they've disappeared to. Yeah, tear that one out, please. So, like I said before, we want as least packers as possible. We normally have these in a tin, but I'm not in the right van today, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to slide this packer in there. See that, David, there, look? Yeah. Yeah. And that's enough there. What I'm actually going to do, jump outside, Davey. That little block is in the way. So I'm going to slide that through like that, because what we want the packer near the screw, so that when we put the screw in, it doesn't... Yeah, I know that, David. When we put the screw in, what we want is that packer to compress by the screw and not the frame. I'll explain that a bit better in a minute. So, if the screw is there, you want the packer near the screw, because otherwise if you put the packer there, it'll pull the frame in. Yeah, so that's what you're after there. We're going to work our way down the frame now. If you're fitting these in the UPVC, then sometimes what can happen is the frame will belly like that, so you know you need to get a straight edge on that or a level and make sure it's right. But with this being aluminium, it's dead straight anyway, so we're good with that. So I'm going to work his way down there now and see what packers we can get. And you can come to this side now, Davey, I think. You want to get behind me there, mate? Right, that one won't fit in. That one will fit in. Get that packer in like that. Again, look, Davey, I've gone into the thermal brake, yeah? Some people say it fixed there, but then the screw's more visible. I'm in the thermal brake. It's not going to cause any damage. I've compressed it a little bit, but without actually breaking it.
No, you don't need it, because the fuse spare through there. I know you're right, you've done that.
You can get a selection of packers and...
Can you try to take that through? Oh, you through?
Huh?
Did it go through?
Yeah.
I think I've only gone through with one though, John.
That's going round.
Okay, and then we've got our last screw down here.
No else, it's just...
So that side of that frame now, we've fixed to the sill, that's solid. We've fixed the frame to the 5x2, that's solid as well. So what we're going to do now is go over to this side here now. And see there, what we've got is a little bit of play in the frame there, David. Look, have a look at this, look. You see that, look? Yeah?
Yes.
So, but we know that when that frame is against that, then that is right. So if you look on the outside here, Davey, I'm just going to slide that behind there, just so that it compresses tight. There you go. And now the slop's gone. We know that's plumb, so that's good. We're going to get the level on that again. And there you go. Because it's a rectangle, it's been manufactured correctly. That's level, that's plumb, which means that has to be plumb because it's a rectangle and it's square and it's solid. So again, if you're fitting new PVC, sometimes you'll notice a deviation in the frame there, but you can see that frame there is dead straight because it's aluminium, and that's the way it works. It's solid, isn't it? So we're going to fix this frame now at this side as well. I'm going to show you the fixing. Who's took my drill? I'm going to show you. Who's took my drill? Right, so the fixing points for this. Now, you could take this off if you wanted, the locking bar there. But what we're going to do, we're going to fix through there. We're going to fix through this fixing point here. Okay, I've not sent them all in, and the simple reason is because I want to put some packers behind there first. Just want to show you where we're fixing. Again, in that lock keep there, and again down here. Okay, so there's those fixing points. What we're going to do now is we're going to get a series of packers. Like I say, we normally got these in an ammo tin, but sod's law that all the red ones are at the bottom, which is what I wanted. Okay, they're about 24 quid, them packers. Right, Davey. We'll start at the bottom, mate. Doesn't really matter which way we start, but... So what I'm looking at there now is that distance there. You see, can you watch the frame? And you see there, look, it's just a fraction, look, watch. Yeah? But it's less... See there, I'm thinking that is less than a millimetre. So, depending on what manufacturers you get, that's a 6 and that's a 5. There, that's better. Right, so I'm going to slide that in there like that. Can you see that block there, look, Davey? So I can't slide it on that. I'm just going to push it above the screw there. I'm going to get it in. And again, I've just compressed the thermal brake. The packer's squeezed in, it's tight, it's good. But I'm not smashed the thermal brake, which is what you want to avoid. It's a little bit loose. Right, that's pushing that across too much, and that's a mil, so I'm going to put that in there like that. It may want a little tweak, but we'll see what happens when we go to lock it. Okay, they're solid. Get some more reds. That's a little bit loose there. See that? It's just like, see, that's pushing that, Davey. So we're gonna go with the 2 reds, and we'll see what happens when we lock it, because the smallest packer obviously is a millimetre, and the millimetre is making it too tight, and the lack of the millimetre is too loose. So we'll see what happens anyway when we come to lock it. Right. Whoever's put the OSB on there's put it a little bit too far forward, so I can't get my packer in that side. So I'm going to take this off now, which it can come off anyway. I've got plenty of fixings in my door, so I can now get to that. There we go. Lovely. So I'm going to squeeze that up now. Again, David, have a look at that there, so you can see that there. The fixings, look. The fixings there, it's compressed the thermal brake a little bit, but it's not broke it. That fixing there is hidden in there, and all the way down there they're hidden. Right, so that frame is now fixed. It's solid. It can't go anywhere. So let's recap a little bit. We got the sill level. We used the packers to level that. We've siliconed it. We've dammed the sill as well. We've fixed the frame down to the sill. We've then put the frame against the blocks there to stop it coming back into the room. They can come off now. They can come off. So the only issue now is the head of the frame. Let me show you how I'm going to work this out. Just watch there, David, look. Can you see the movement in that? Yeah. Now, you don't want any movement in that, so we need to fix that somehow. We need to fix that to the steel, which is up there. Excuse me. And the way we're going to do that, we're going to take a measurement here. Put my glasses on first, David. We'll take a measurement there, and we're going to record that measurement. 1778. Is that 1778, David? I can't quite see it, mate. 1778.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1778. So that's the opening size of that frame. So we want this frame here to be the same. 1778, David. Yeah. So we're only going to fix this in 2 places because it's aluminium, and that's all it will need. So I'm going to fix one above the hinge there, on that hinge point there, and one above the hinge point there as well. Okay, and that will be enough to hold it. Right, so we'll open that like that. Yeah, and what we need to do, we need to measure under this point now. David's just going to come over here and confirm this measurement for me. 1778, David. What we got there? 1776.
7, I'd say 1777.
So it's a mil then, isn't it? Yeah. So it's a mil too low. So what we're going to do, we can get some packers. And we're going to slide the packers in on top of the steel like that. Now, that's too much there, so let's get blue one as well and see how that one works. Again, that's too much. What we're looking for is it to slide in real easily. And then we know that there. So that's sliding in now like that at that. I'm now going to push that up. John, have you got a minute?
Yeah, Liam, can I just have you for a second?
Yeah, you just come in, John, have you got a minute? I'm videoing a minute. Right. John, just push the sill up. David, come and check this. Yeah, up to the top. Right, David, check that measurement when he pushes it up. What you got now?
1778.
Right, so that's exactly right at that packer size there. We're going to fix through that. I'll show you how we're going to fix through there in a second. All right, so we found out that them packers there, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to screw through the top there, through the thermal brake, into the steel that we've already put in to support our roof. We're going to use these 110mm roofing screws. They're self-drilling. They should cut through the steel. They always have before anyway, but the only thing is, we've found out we hadn't got any, so we've had to recycle these, and they've already cut once already, but let's see if they'll work anyway. That is where we are drilling. We're going to pop that through the thermal brake first, which it will go. Right, can you see there? Look, David, watch the top there, look. Watch. It's pushing it down, can you see that? But we know when that is tight in, that will be a good job. So let's see if we can get that in. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put my fingers on there like that. I'm just going to pull this frame in slightly. And the reason why I pulled it in slightly is because the weight of the doors is actually bellying the frame out. So that should be good now. And what we'll do, we'll look at this one there as well, David. Just have a look at this one there. What have we got there? It was 8 we were looking for, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is that 8 already?
I'd say that's 9, yeah.
Right, do you want to film it, David, instead of... Yeah. What would you say it is, David?
1,789.
No, it's not. Try again.
79, sorry.
Right, so it's a mil too big, isn't it? So we want to push that down a little bit. Let's have a look, see what we've got here. That could be right there. We'll try that. Okay, let's have a look at. We'll have a remeasure on that one now, David. What have we got there now, mate? 1 minute, I've come off. There, what have we got now?
Yeah, 7, 8.
7, 8?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we're good there. We need another screw in there, which we have got here. When that's cutting into the steel, you're obviously going to get bits of metal coming down, so you need to protect your eyes. Again, I've just compressed the thermal brake, but you can see there the packers are tight, they're not going nowhere. So, let's recap then. We've fit the sill, we've screwed the sill down, we've screwed the frame to the sill, we've plumbed our legs, we've fixed them as well, and we've also fixed the head as well, which now means that these doors will glide in the manner that they're supposed to. We'll just show you. They glide a lot better when the glass is in, so if you fit them at this point, you think, oh, that don't feel very good. When you've got the weight of the glass in, it glides a whole different way altogether. But there you go. See? Yeah. All right, so they're gliding quite well without the glass in anyway, but that's that. I'm going to lock that now. Shut this one. Give that a lock now. Okay, so that's our doors. The frame is now fit. We're happy with that. It's good. It's gone in well. We've got our fixing points up there. We've got our fixing points there. We're packed up. We will form that at a later date, but I'm going to wait until we've got the glass in first. Simply because when you try to fit your glass, if it's a bit of a struggle sometimes, you're getting foam on your hands, it's a nightmare. So let's address this situation now, Davey. Stand there. What's your light like, Davey, when, what's your light like? Do you want to be outside looking in or inside looking out? Okay. Right, just have a look here, Davey. So sometimes when these come, look, just have a look here, Davey, you need to get close up, mate. Yeah, so you see the seals just come out a little bit there, look, yeah? You just want to rub your finger all the way around it. Yeah. Make sure that seal's in. Get rid of them foam packers there, because what them foam packers are doing, they're actually holding the beads in, stop the beads falling out in transit. But we're ready now to do this. There you go, so that one's good. Check this one now. That's good too. Okay, and then we'll do this one as well. And that's it. Make sure all them seals, gaskets, whatever you want to call them, are in correctly. We're good there. All right, so we're happy with that. Right, we're going to start glazing them now. Now, we've talked about this before. You need to toe and heel your glass. Right, so basically, toe and heeling is the same scenario as when you brace a gate. I'm going to find you something to draw on now. We'll actually use one of these express signs. Like I say, you get a 5% off code there as well. They're not paying me to do this. We just use them. Obviously, this benefits me, but they're not actually paying me to do this video. Okay. Right, toe and heeling. Right, these are your doors. Door 1, door 2, door 3. Okay, that's the handle there. So all doors travel in that direction, which is the way these doors are. Yours might be going that way or vice versa, or whatever. Right, okay. So you need to brace it. So let's imagine a gate. There's a gate, there's your post, yeah? That's the latching point of the gate, so the gate hinges there. Yeah, it doesn't matter where it opens, in or out, doesn't matter, right? So that gate is going to want to drop like that under its own weight. So what you do then, you put a brace in like that, okay? And then that then puts pressure on that point there and lifts that point there, which stops the gate from falling. You need to do exactly the same thing with the doors as well. You need to toe and heel them. So if we look at this door here, which is, we'll call that door 1, door 2, and door 3. So this is the hinge side, yeah? See that, David? You want to stand back a little bit, just there, mate, yeah? Right, so that's the hinge side. So what we're going to do, we're going to toe and heel it there, okay? So it'll be toe and heeled from there to there, so that will then keep this side up and stop it from dropping. This door here now, this is the hinge point here, okay? That's the hinge point there. So what we need to do now is toe and heel that one in that direction, which again will keep that up, stop any weight transferring down there, and put weight on the hinge side and the roller side, which will stop it from sagging. This door here, which is the travel door, yeah, it's hinged on that side there, on the roller side. So again, we're going to toe and heel it in that direction there, which will take any weight off that door and put pressure on that point there, which will keep that point up in the air, if that makes sense. So it should do, and that's how you're going to toe and heel the door. So toe and heel the door is done with various packers. You want a plastic glazing shovel, which we're going to find in a minute. We're going to get the glass in, and we're going to toe and heel them and show you how we toe and heel them successfully. And then these doors will operate nicely. And then I'll put the gaskets in. Now, these particular units that we've got, David, you want to come around here, mate? These particular units have got blinds in. Lovely little feature. I don't know if you can see that there, David. Oh, I guess that works under gravity, doesn't it? So it's not going to operate like that. But they're the blinds. I'm going to show you them working when they're in and they're up. Like I said, they're a lovely little feature. So what we're going to do, we're going to clear John's stuff out of the way. Yeah. Where's this cable for David? He's running the cables at the moment, so we'll get that over there as well. Right, this is our first glaze unit. Let's find somewhere where we can put it. We're going to put it against the back wall. Yeah, we're going to put it in there. Make sure there's no screws out on the floor, because we don't want to break these units. They are expensive because they've got blinds in. And anyway, I'll be beefing if I break it. Right. So that's the first unit. I'm going to get that. We put on some PIR just to protect it there. It's been out in the rain, it's not a problem. These units are polished all around. Look, so I can put my hand up and down like that. No problem. And it won't cut it because they've been polished. If you've got your units from elsewhere, they may not be polished. Right, I've got a little issue there. The window's wet and I can't get a good grip on it. These arrived, I think yesterday. Did they arrive, David, or the day before? Day before. So they've been outside because we're still doing work inside. Excuse me. Right, we'll try and get this in now. Hand's still slipping on that, David. David, we got any kitchen rolls? So David's just dried these for me because I couldn't get a grip of them because they were wet and we don't want to drop them. Right, so it's toughened glass, yeah? You do not want to catch the bottom corner of this glass on anything, because if you do, it will pop. Okay, so I'm going to get that round like that now. I'm going to put that there. Yeah, I'll take that screw out of the wall. Okay, so that there is my unit. Right, David, just jump in here, look. If you're fitting these and you ain't got blinds, right, then you will have a sticker on it somewhere, or you certainly should have, which will tell you which side is room interior, because it's got a coating on. Generally they have, but obviously the mechanism for the window rather, the blinds, needs to be on the inside, so I don't need to worry about which way around I've got it, because I know it's correct. I'm going to take these travel packers off the glass, the ones that are possibly in my way, and that'll a few more on top, Davey. So all the travel packers are off there now. Yeah? No, it's just the ones that are near the beads, Davey, mate. So I'm going to throw them out of the way because they stick to your feet and they're annoying. Right, the beads, look, here's the beads. Yeah? So the beads, once we've took them little foam blocks out, yeah? They hold the beads in transit, yeah? Take the little foam block out and then just get the bead like that and just flip it out like that. And that will come out like that, yeah? Now, if you look at this bead, look. See that little lip there? That's exactly how it's come out, yeah? That lip there will sit into there, Davey, yeah? Yeah? And then that bit there, will clip into the back of there, and that's where that bead's going to sit. Now, what I'm going to do with the beads, that's right-hand bead, so I'm going to put right-hand bead there. I'm going to take my left-hand bead out now, but the minute I do that, that bead's going to fall and drop on the floor, yeah? So I'm going to put my hand on that, take my left-hand bead out, take my top bead, and I put my top bead, this is what I always do, you can do it another way, I'm going to put my top bead there, and then my bottom bead there, and when I come to fit this glass, bottom bead straight in, I'll then take my top bead, go up and put my top bead in. Okay, so they're in the right location. Right, Davey, we need a plastic shovel. You've got one. Davey is well on it. Right, glazing shovel. It's nylon or plastic or whatever you want to call it. It's a little wedge there, and that will successfully lift the glass without breaking the glass, which is the main objective of this part of the film. Anyway, not to break the glass. Right, so there's my glass. I'm going to now lift it up, then bring it round to where it wants to go. I'm going to push it in with my knee. Yep. I'm in there, look, yeah? There. So that's my glass in. I'm going to keep my hand on the glass at all times, yeah? I don't want the glass to fall. I've now got my head on the glass. Right, so the glass is in. What we've just done, we just beaded it up and then realised that I've not even tone healed it. So we're having one of them days today, I'm afraid. Right, we're going to lift the glass with this shovel. So again, I've got my head against the glass there. I'm just going to try and get this under there, which is not proven successful. Jen, just put your hand there on my hand. Right, and push up rather than in. So Jen's lifted that now. Thank you. Which enables me to get the plastic shovel under that glass there. Right, so, like I said, we want to tone heal it in that direction. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to see how much play we've got on the glass. We want the glass to sit somewhere nice on the seal. So I'm now going to put, what?
Am I okay to drill,
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'm now going to put that, and the reason why I put it at a slight little angle like that is because that packer needs, if that's the glass there, yeah, that packer, and it wants to sit like that, because if you sit it like that, and there's a danger of that glass not sitting on there, when the summer comes and it's blazing down on there, that glass might drop, and it might drop past that packer. So if you put it on a slight little bit of an angle like that, both sheets of glass will sit on the packer. Or you can get wider packers, but I've not been able to get any for ages. So what I'm going to do now is slide that across like that. I've got my hand still on the glass. I'm going to put that in there like that. That doesn't matter on the side, it's the weight pushing down, you know, so that just literally thrown that behind. Right, so I've got that like that. I'm now going to go at the top and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do there. And put my knee on that glass there. Right, so I want to send that across like that, and I put the packer in there like that.
Yeah.
There we go. So that packer's in there now. So I need to put packer in there now. If Davey watches that frame there, can you see it going up and down, Davey? So what we need to do, we need to take the weight off that, because what will happen, that'll open, and in a couple of weeks it'll start sagging, it'll start catching. So we're going to get another packer now, an appropriate size. I'm going to lift that up, slide that packer in like that. There you go. So what's happened now is that there is toe and heeled all the way down there, and there shouldn't be any weight on this corner. See there, look, Davey? See, I can put that packer in completely there and there. So that glass isn't actually touching that frame up. See? Yeah. And that's what we want. That's what we've aimed for. So we've got that toe and heel direction going up like that. We're now going to put this bead back in. David, did you, there it is, isn't it? We've had these in once already, and I don't know if I did that bit out, but they're a little bit tight to go in. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. That's a horrible glazing hammer, that, isn't it? Got my elbow still against that glass, look. So what I'm going to do, pushing it back. Doesn't want to go in there, Davey, at all. There, that's dropped in now, look. I'm going to work my way along. There we go, look, that's in. What I've found is the ones with the blinds on tend to be a little bit tighter for some reason. I've got absolutely no idea why. That popped in a bit better. There you go. So that's in, look, as well. Again, we're going to put this one in.
You can push it now if you want.
Again, pushing it in first to get that first bit of lip in there. I know we struggled with this one last time, David. Was it this one?
Nearly there now, John.
There, that's gone in, look. There we go. That's in. We'll get this one in now as well.
Right.
I'm going to hold that in that direction. The glazing hammer, it's got little rubber ends on or little nylon ends or whatever, so they're not going to damage it if you don't go crazy. You know, hit something hard enough and it'll damage it regardless, right? So all them 4 beads are in now. I'm out of breath. What we're going to do now is, you can actually leave that for a while if you wanted to, but what I'm going to do now is put these packers in, just to act very much like the gasket does. There we go. And again up here. Put that in there and put quite a bit of pressure on that. There we go. Push that up to there. So what's happening now is that's acted very much like the gasket. It's pushed the glass against the external gasket there, and it's put the bead nice and square now. That will aid putting the gaskets in when we come to do that, but I'll show you that as well. And what you want to do is get the biggest packer you can get in, because it will help you no end when you come to fit your gaskets. There we go, that's in there like that. Get that white one back out there, and we'll try and get one in up here as well. Again, a nylon shovel is not going to break the glass. There we go, so we've got them in there. That's nice and secure now, and what we're going to do now, we're going to go along. There, look, there's the blinds working, like totally. Bit of gravity worked wonders. They're beautiful. They are obviously an expensive edition, but if you think about it, if you're going to get blinds anyway, these are never going to get dirty, never going to get damaged. If you've got a dog or kids running around, they're inside the glass, and that's how they work. They're perfect. Expensive, but beautiful. Right, Davey, what we're going to do, we're going to tone heel this one now. So that's tone heeled that way. We need to now tone heel that one that way, and that one that way. I'm going to put it onto what's it called? Time lapse. We'll fit the glass, and then we'll drop back and show you the gaskets going in as well. Right, the glass is in. We're going to fit the gaskets in a minute, but what I want to show you what you want to do. You want to get the stickers off the windows, because trust me, if you leave them on and the sun gets on them, then they're going to be a nightmare to get off. Let's see how easy. Sometimes they come off straight away, and other times they don't. And I'm just going to show you a technique of getting the residue off if they don't come off. But that one's come off easy. Like I say, the sun gets on these and the weathered, it's quite difficult to get them off. That one's come off easy. Right, this one here didn't. So you get a blade out your knife if you've got a knife. Keep the blade flat rather than like that, she'll scratch the glass, and just drag it off like that. And that'll get rid of anything off the glass really, as long as you keep it flat. Don't put it like that, she'll scratch the glass. Just like that, and it'll get any crap off the glass. Right, so they're fit. We're going to go inside now, and we're going to fit the gaskets out with Davey. Yeah. So Davey's going to come in. I'm going to leave that door open like that. It's not windy, so it's not an issue. We haven't fit the travel magnet on it yet. The magnet basically stops the travel door banging into the other door and catching the handle. So the gasket, there should be plenty of this when it comes. If it's cold, stick it in a bucket of warm water. It'll work a lot better for you. If you're in the summer months and you're fitting these, then window cleaner is your friend. You'll want your glazing shovel probably, and you'll want your packers. So what I'm going to do, rather than stick a knife down there, I'm going to pick that off. No, I'm not, because it's been wrapped around super tight. I'm going to actually cut it off. There we go. If you're interested in building one of these and you follow us on YouTube, which you're watching this on, or Instagram, we've actually got a Facebook page as well. Loads of home builders on there, loads of people sharing their knowledge and their experiences and their ups and downs of their builds. So go across and join that. It's on Oakwood Garden Rooms on Facebook. And if you want to build one of these and you're thinking, can I do it, can't I do it, have I got the skills, have I not got the skills? Well, trust me, a lot of these guys thought they didn't have the skills, but they bought a build pack, which we sell at oakwoodgardenrooms.co.uk. Full instructions in there. Combine that with the videos, and there's a full materials list as well, and you'll be able to build your own to the highest possible standard. And trust me, I've got a lot of builders that are actually buying build packs off me. It's took the legwork out of it for them. They can just order the materials straight off there, and they're using our system because they know our system is literally bulletproof. It works like hell. Right, so that's the gasket. The way that's going to go in, can you see that section there is bigger than that section there? Yeah. Right, now I know these are quite tight, so I'm going to offer the small section in. If they were loose, I'd offer the big section in. But what's going to happen is that's going to go in there like that. There's a little recess on the back of that bead which will catch that. That will be gone, you won't ever see that again. And then that part of the gasket there will be visible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray some of that on there like that. It's window cleaner. It provides like a slippy base for it to go in. Just get some more packers just to push the bead across, which will aid this going in. Right, so let me get that there like that. Push that up there. If I can get a blue one in, that'll be great, but I can't. Try and get a white one in. Try a grey one now. Yeah, right, so the grey one's in. I'm going to push that across to the corner there, because that's where I'm going to start. So what's happening with that is that's pushing the glass back to the gasket outside, which will aid us putting this in. So I'm going to see now if I can get the little one in. The little one's gone in straight away. Let's see if the big one will go in. I don't think it will. No, the big one ain't going to go in. Right, so we're right first time. I'm going to put the little one in. There we go, push that in. You feel it sort of pop in really. Push it along. Now we're going to slide that across a little bit. Right, if you jab this with your nails, you're going to mark it all. Right. So what you can do is get your glazing shovel and just run it across like that. It doesn't then mark it. You just got to watch that you don't actually pull it back out from where it was over there. Get that all the way across there. Like that. Sometimes it goes in easy, sometimes it don't. If you've got these blinds. Oh, cut that, Davey. What am I? Right, that one don't fit. Don't know, I've managed to cut that. We're just using these little nips, little electrician's nips to cut it. Cuts it quite well. Start again. Been a bad day, hasn't it, David?
Not been the greatest.
Has it, mate? Everything's gone wrong. Right, start again. Make sure that we're going in little side first, because that's the side we know pops in nice. Push that in, slide it across the way you want to go. See that boat slide, Davey? That's what I've got. Look, push that packer across like that. That'll push that over, and then it slides, yeah? There we go. That goes in a lot easier like that. That's it, lovely. Again, don't stick your nails in it because you'll get all nail marks in it. like I say, if you're doing this in winter time, bucket of warm water, throw your seal in it, it'll make it more pliable, going a lot easier for you. Get that across there like that. Now, there's a reason why I'm doing the head, and I'll do the bottom as well first, before we do the sides. And I'll explain that in a minute to you. But you want to do your head and your bottom first. Right, so, there, I'm right over in the corner with that now. I can't go any further with that. Push that up like that. I'm now going to cut my seal to an approximate length, which we're thinking is there. Yeah. And now I'm going to take that packer out. What I'll do is I'll push that packer up there like that. You can't see it, but that's actually pushed that glass back. You see how that packer's now become loose, look? Send that off like that. Oh, it's fallen out on me, Davey. Davey, I'm going to go home in a minute. What do you reckon? Right, get that in there like that. Send it up there like that. Okay. Get that one out. See it's loose, look, yeah? Right, push that up there like that. And there you go. That's your seal in now. So that's the top seal. Right, the reason why we've done the top seal first, so we do the shorter ones first, because what happens sometimes you get drawback on the seals and the seals pull back and shrink. So that being the shortest, you do them first, and then we'll do the legs, and I'll explain what we'll do to prevent the legs from pulling back as well. So top's in. We'll do bottom now, Davey. Let's see if we can cut this to a better length than we did last time. They do send more seal than what you need. So if you make a bit of a balls out of it like I just did, don't worry about it. Right. What do we have in there? Grey packer, didn't we, Davey? Right, glazing shovel again. We know it's tight. We know we're going to have problems. So we'll push that across there like that. See there, look. See if you can get in there, Davey. Excuse me. Right. Right, can you see that gap there, look? Yeah?
Yeah.
See that won't even fit in there, will it?
No.
But that'll fit in there lovely, yeah? Right. So what I'm going to do, look, I'm going to push that across. You can actually see the glass pushing back and the bead pushing out. Did you see that, look? No? Is it hard to see? A little bit. Right. Windoline or glass cleaner, Tesco glass cleaner, other cleaners are available. Windoline doesn't make any difference, it all makes it slippy. And it gives the added benefit of being able to clean the glass afterwards. Right. See that there doesn't want to go in. So what we're going to do now is push that across there. Send that one down there like that. Make sure we are a little side round, which we are. There we go. I know full well that I'm going to have problems with this. So we'll use that again. There we go, that went in nice like that. I'm only going to slide it a little bit along at a time. Working his way along. Right. Maybe one of you guys can tell me why the blinds make it a little bit tighter, because surely the insert, the bar, the black bar, is all the same size regardless of, you know, what's inside the glass. But trust me, every single time it don't want to go in really tight, whereas if there weren't blinds in here, that'd be just dropping in. That's a little bit better. Right, when I get to the corner, I'm going to pull this one down again like that, just put pressure on that glass, which will help that go in, hopefully. That's it going in now. It's in here, John. Proper see. Right, cut that a bit too long. See that, David? Look. And try and slide that in there, which I have done. Yeah, long is good because you get any drawback on it.
Am I okay at circular?
I prefer not to. Why do you need circular?
The
chop saws out there. Right, the chop saws there, John.
It's plugged in next to plasterboards.
Right, top seal's in, bottom seal's in. We're now going to put these packers where we want them, which is, I'm going to go there. And we're going to go there. That one I'm going to leave at the top, and I'll explain why in a minute. Right, let's do this right leg first. Okay, right, well, let's cut this seal, David, to right length. I can't let you cut seals again, you're rubbish. Is that enough, David? Yeah. Right. There's your seal. Right. We know it's tight, yeah? Bloody is tight. Sometimes they're going really easy. Hang on, I'll stop moaning about that. Right. Loads of windowing, yeah? Get that top in there like that. It's in, yeah? Pushed it right up. I'm going to pull that seal, that packer down like that. Right, yeah? See there, Davey? Right, what I'm going to do now, right? What I normally do is put a loop like that and continue pushing down like that. Yeah, maybe not that much of a loop. Let's have a look. There we go. You see there, but look, I'm really struggling to get that to go in. Right, so I'll need to use that packer. So what I'm going to do is bring that packer down. Normally what I do is leave the packer there, do a loop around it and go on down, but this seal will not have it. So what I'm going to do, look, is leave that like that, look, yeah? And you see that extra layer, look, yeah? So when I go down here now, and work my way down there, yeah? That extra little bit there, and get all the way down. There we are. Okay, so we're nearly at the bottom, right? So this is what I would have done on top. We've got two packers there, so if it wasn't as tight, yeah, all right, I'd have worked, gone round that there, like that, and left, let's have a look, left the, that's too much, there, yeah, left that loop like that. John, just give us a minute, mate. Yeah, nearly done this. Right, so I'm going to cut that off to the right length there, look. Pull that out. Just nip that off now, it's just a little bit too long. Okay, right, now take that out of there and get that back in there. So that's that extra little bit now, so when the sun gets on that and it pulls back, it'll still have a little bit of length in it, and we're going to do the same with the top now. Go on, Johnny, carry on, mate. Thank you. What to do now is form around the doors, form them in. I've already formed the inside, so if you're going to buy foam and you've never used foam before, buy yourself a gun. They're about 25 quid, something like that. But if you buy the can with the little plastic nozzle on, it just goes everywhere. It's absolute nightmare. This is more controllable, he says. So we're going to form all in there now. Which will seal the door in and obviously prevent any drafts coming through. Also help fix the door as well, because this stuff is really, it's good, like it gets a grip of it. I have took windows out of properties before where there hasn't been any actual fixings in, and there's just been expanding foam holding the window in. Bit naughty, but it works. Like this particular build is going to get clad in Hardy. Is it Hardy, David? It is Hardy, in a Hardy VL range. So we're going to put the buttons on shortly today now. We'll get this job coming up to a finish. We've got like LED flush mounted strip lights in. I'm going to show you inside in a minute as well. We've got LED flush mounted lights in the ceiling. We call that halo lights because obviously it looks like a halo. Easy enough to fit, very, very dramatic looking, nice looking, a little bit nicer than the spotlights, I think, in my opinion. Traditionalists won't like it, I suppose, but quite easy to fit, like I said. Right, that's that. What I'm going to do, just come out a little bit there. So just going to, because we're still using this door, and I don't want somebody walking past this and it's just going to all blow off and then end up going on the door. So I'll just take that off there. If you get it now while it's still wet, it's not a problem to get it off. If it goes on your door, these trade wipes, there you go, look, yeah, there, look, it's just rubbed straight off, whereas if you let it go off hard, it's quite stiff and you end up scratching your door getting it off. So that's that. We're just going to run some along top as well, and then I'll show you what the customers done while we were away yesterday to aid the doors to open. Like I said, there's great control over this foam when you use one of these guns. If this is the first video you've watched, then I've got a whole load of other videos on YouTube. Help you build one of these yourself. But, you know, it's a full guide of how we do it. I'm not saying, you know, it's the only way to do it, but it's how we do it and it works. Like I said yesterday, loads of people are using this technique, builders like, to build their own. So that's your doors in. If Davey wants to stand there, I'll show you what the customer's done. So he stepped this back to create a step up into the garden. We were going to chamfer it off for him, but he's decided that this is the best option, and quite frankly, it is the best option. Looks the part. So I'm just going to show you now these opening. That'll open now. It'll hit the travel magnet, so the handle won't damage the sash. And there you go. You see how close that is, David? Look. Yeah. It's close, but it's close enough. Yeah. All right. So there's your doors. Look. One finger action. As always. If you fit them right, then they will glide just like that. And I'll show you these blinds if Davey wants to just jump inside now. Integrated blinds. Absolutely love little feature. Yeah. Worth the money, and not an expense, but definitely worth the money. If you find your doors catching and you've got a little bit of catch on it, a little bit of stiffness, then all you need to do, come here, Davey. Thank you, mate. You can see them little grub screws there, look. You turn them, they're off centre, so as you turn them, they'll move left or right as you turn them. And what happens with them, they catch on there sometimes and make the door a little bit tight to open. So I'll have a little play around with them and that'll make your door a lot easier to fit. So that's your 3 metre bifolds, and don't forget, if you're after these bifolds, and they are the best quality, they're leading manufacturer in the country, Express bifolds, and now they're doing them in 5 working days. They're 1950 high, which works on your permitted development as well, so you can get 5% off if you just use that code as well. expressbifoldsdirect.co.uk. All right, so that's us. We're done with fitting them doors now. We're going to jump in there and help them with plasterboarding and get that plasterboarded. We're going to get the membrane round here. I'm going to get some slate lights on it as well. Davey's just going to come round here. I put this video on TikTok the other day. Caused a little bit of a disturbance. People just saying why. Well, why not? There you go. AstroTurf on the roof. And the reason for that AstroTurf being there is this customer lives in a bungalow. He will never ever see it, but out of consideration for the neighbours who live there, he's decided that this is a better outlook than the black expanse of rubber, so when they look out their window there they can see this nice AstroTurf which blends in with the countryside. Yeah. Alright, so if you like to follow and subscribe, leave a comment, I'll try and answer if I can, and if you keep watching then we'll I'll show you the what's it called, Davey, on the back? No, what's it called? RDVL range. Come here, Dave, I'll just show them a quick look now. So this customer wanted this building right up to the wall. If David just shows you in there, you can see we've clad half of that on the floor, stood it up, and what we'll do, we'll carry on cladding the rest now that we can get past the wall. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.